How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I'm your host, as always, Faze Crypto, and welcome to the YouTube show where you subscribe for the latest and greatest in cryptocurrency updates. And things are happening relatively quickly in that cryptocurrency space, so let's get right into it. Right on the first subject of discussion today has got to be Electroneum. Of course, there's been a lot of mixed reviews regarding Electroneum over this past couple of days, but I guess the numbers speak louder than any opinion out there. I mean, of course, at the time of recording this video, we've got Electroneum up 12.42, up there with a lot of the top gainers for today. Of course, this is long overdue. I mean, we have been sort of saw earlier in the week that Electroneum sort of a dump happened, but of course, I mean, the entire space has been sort of just prattling along, moving sideways. There's only so much that you can expect, but hey, I'll take these gains when we can get them. I mean, my strategy was to accumulate when most people were jumping ship, and I'm sure that there's plenty of other people who had that same indication that the price was going to basically be dumped and then pumped, which does happen. And we're sort of seeing a similar exploration of that time in basically time immemorial, I mean, right in front of our eyes. So it is interesting to see people riding that wave. I'm sure feeling pretty good about themselves. Now, basically, you could get in on that cheap Electroneum here and then see some of those gains in a short amount of time, sort of day trading at its best. But of course, Electroneum price analysis is Electroneum losing its worth significantly due to delay in release of beta iOS. This is an interesting article right here, certainly pretty relevant, speaking to the Electroneum community. I personally don't see this as the reason why we were seeing the space getting all this recent price momentum, but of course that's just my opinion. I mean, of course, the space, I mean, at the time of recording, of course, the market cap is at 133 billion, basically just relatively moving sideways. I mean, that 3 billion extra on there seems to be teetering and tottering whether or not we're going to go back down to the 130 billion or whether we're going to be up to 140 and then back down to 135 the next day. Sort of is anybody's guess at this point. Things have been generally unpredictable to that effect. However, I think that it is a lot to be pointed out. So ETN, or Electroneum, is a British company, cryptocurrency that was initially developed for mobile gaming and online gambling markets. Since the ETN is aiming to be a cheaper, faster, and mobile-friendly cryptocurrency, ETN has its basis of its own Bitcoin-delivered blockchain, and its developers claim that it's the world's first common cryptocurrency, according to the ETN. So blah, blah, blah. And present status on ETN, price analysis. Definitely an article that you guys should check out. I mean, it definitely is interesting to see crypto news going into the details about what the future of Electroneum is going to be. I mean, personally, I could see this as being a really big step forward. Mobil mining. I mean, we've talked about this on the channel before plenty of times. How really connecting this. When you go through the white paper, and I spend hours every single day just reading white paper and just going through, just spending hours every single day doing research on various different cryptocurrencies, and Electroneum certainly does stand out. I mean, when you take into consideration these various different indicating factors of the mobile space and how we've been seeing a lot of various different momentum moving in different directions, Electroneum certainly is one of the more pronounced cryptos. I mean, in that same regard. Now, I know that I mean, a lot of people are probably going to be typing in comments right now, bringing up a lot of these various different concerns that they might be having. But I think it's more of a long game for the most part. I mean, obviously I do delve into some day trading from time to time, but I find that it is worth it to have some Electroneum, for the long term. Now, of course, remember, this video is just my opinion. Obviously, every video on this channel is my opinion, obviously. But in other news, we've got experts finally cracked that laptop. Crypto CEO who died. I knew they would eventually get it. I mean, 137 million. I mean, I'm pretty sure people would work 24 hours a day to get that laptop cracked open. So good to see how there's been some progress that's been made, and of course, talking about how Electroneum has been playing into the whole community. I mean, for anybody who is interested, I mean, there's this Electroneum fan community. Pay Electroneum at your favorite restaurant. Pretty interesting stuff. Certainly an indication of the future, what we could be seeing. And I think this right here says it all. I mean, Electroneum mass adoption. I think it's an interesting experiment, and certainly a good sign of the future. And I know a lot of people watching this are probably Electroneum believers, so I'm probably preaching to the choir to that effect. But at the same time, I think that we should probably be spreading the word to a lot of people out there who don't necessarily understand the wave that's coming. But anyway, in other news, we've got unpacking blockchain, improved Bitcoin transactions, upgrades to Bitcoin protocol. Definitely an interesting article to check out for multiple reasons. If anything, just to get an idea of what the future of this space is actually going to be looking like, unfolding in real time right before our eyes. Some definitely interesting things going on. And just to get an idea of what Electroneum is actually going to be looking like. ETN acceptance is increasingly rapidly every day. In fact, our user base grew faster than Facebook and Twitter. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And I mean, the fact that Electroneum sort of established itself as the only game in town is definitely interesting. You sort of have to give Electroneum credit, where that is concerned. The fact that Electroneum's managed to establish itself on these various, Apple and Google, certainly interesting when you want to take into consideration safety and all these different things that are certainly hurdles that need to be jumped over by any crypto that seeks to be a competition in this space. I think we need to really look into how this space has been evolving, and how the next generation of people who are going to be using cryptocurrency, digital assets, and all these different things are going to be functioning. Certainly is a topic of discussion that we need to delve into, if anything, a bit further, just to get an idea of how people have sort of trended away from the traditional aspects of what we expected were the cryptocurrency at large, when the Bitcoin and all these different things were experiencing the $20,000 Bitcoin, all these historical moments in the space that seem so far away now, might be an indication of how the space has actually been evolving. In part, I mean, I could substantiate these observations by just bringing out the fact that now people have more of a focus on what these technologies are actually going to be doing in the real world, and the fact that smartphones are being more and more accessible by people all around the world is only going to contribute more in the effect of maintaining Electroneum, building up that key groundwork of its fan base, which is also something that needs to be given some sort of respect in that regard. And in other news, we've got unpacking signatures, improve Bitcoin. We've already talked about that one. Bitcoin volatility is one of those chicken and egg problems. That's definitely an interesting way to put it, but I'll read this quote for you. As it gets bigger, it becomes harder and harder to budge, and when people are making long-term decisions and using this as part of their business and embedding it into their accounting system, that changes the attitude towards this. I wholeheartedly think that that's a pretty interesting sentiment, if to say the least. Now, becoming less speculation and more medium of exchange, which is certainly something that's connected at the hip to the pulse of the cryptocurrency space, which is also interesting. Now, sort of a interesting tabloid right here is crypto ATM stolen, but no Bitcoin taken, which is pretty interesting. What did they think? The ATM was full of Bitcoin? Amateurs. You got to be a hacker in this day and age. But anyway, Litecoin up 28%, LTC, Lightning Network capacity of 76%, can drop to $70. I suppose we'll see. And it is interesting to see. Why didn't Ripple surge follow Coinbase listing and optimistic partnerships? That's also an interesting thing to talk about. But yeah, all that being said, it is pretty awesome to see what we've been seeing happening with Electroneum as the space has been developing. I'm sure that there's people who have been enjoying some of those pretty juicy gains that Electroneum has been showing on the board, which is also pretty exciting. Currently ranked at the number 72 in the space, but I'm excited. I think I'm fairly bullish on where Electroneum could be taking us in the near future. And of course, if you guys are interested, make sure that you guys follow us on our Twitter at CryptoTuber. As always, interested in hearing what you guys have to say. Of course, make sure that you guys subscribe and comment down below, letting us know what you think about the future of Electroneum. And all that being said, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.